Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Just before we get started, I'd love to have you as part of the community here at ReviewFlix. Consider subscribing today and hitting that like button, and let's get on with the video. Hey guys, and welcome to this video. We're going to be talking about the $69.99 price tag that negatively impacts PS5 game unit sales. So yeah, this is quite interesting, guys. Obviously, there's been a lot of backlash over the recent kind of year or two about the price hike on new PlayStation games going from $60 up to $70. It's an additional $10, but $70, and then trying to add on top of DLC, microtransactions, and all this kind of live service stuff they want to add on top as well. They're just nickel and diamond players, and people can't afford it. So when a game comes out, people have to decide, are they going to spend $70 on a game or not? So it's a lot of money to spend for a lot of people. So, but let's jump into this article, guys, and see what it has to say. So, reports indicate that PlayStation users are buying less games, and Sony's data suggests that higher costs are the reason as to why unit sales have dropped. While PlayStation 5 hardware is on the rise, with record-breaking console sales. So yeah, this is kind of what this article is about, guys. So, game unit sales are going down, but console sales are going up. So, people are buying consoles, but they're only buying maybe 1 or 2 games a year, whereas they used to buy 5 or 6. But because of the prices going up and obviously live services costing loads as well, people can only afford to buy a couple of games a year now. So, but yeah, sorry guys. Anyway, let's jump back in. Data from Sony and Activision offers a possible explanation as to why this is happening. Sony just reported its best ever year of PlayStation earnings, raking in $27 billion in revenues. Man, the gaming industry is just, holy crap, the gaming industry makes so much damn money. PS5 console hardware sales were the main driver for this overperformance, with Sony generating a record-breaking $8.297 billion from PS4 and PS5 consoles during fiscal year 2022. Software revenues were likewise at an all-time high. Data provided by Sony Corp indicates that PlayStation gamers spent $6.367 billion in the combined digital and physical software purchases. Hardware is pulling in record numbers, and so is software. But overall, game unit sales were down quite a bit for fiscal year 2022, dropping to 264.2 million games sold, which represents a substantial 39 million drop in unit sales from a year ago. But the thing that is the main driver of this falling as well, I believe, times are hard at the moment as well, because there's a lot of recessions going around in different countries. People just don't have as much money as they used to. Inflation's going up all over the place. I'm here in the UK. Our inflation is just going through the roof. So our money and our paychecks is just not worth as much as they used to be a few years ago. So when new games come out, we've got to be really picky with what we buy. Yeah, that's just part of the reason for it, guys. And so yeah, guys, you've got the two charts here. On the left, you've got game unit sales yearly. And on the right, you've got game sales revenue by type yearly. So you've got digital and physical sales. Just pause the video here if you guys want to check out the chart. I'm not going to try and read through it all. It's all just a load of numbers. But you guys can pause it, have a quick look through this chart, and we'll just continue on. An uptick in hardware can typically lead to increased game purchases, but we're seeing a reduction in game unit sales accompanying the meteoric rise of the console adoption. This trend indicates that PlayStation gamers are buying fewer titles, but spending more money on the games that they do buy. So people are spending less, they're buying less games because they're so expensive. Someone would rather buy one game, and then, because a lot of games are taking on the live service format, so a lot of people would rather buy a game and then just invest their money into that one game, and then it becomes more sort of personalized to them, I guess, rather than trying to buy loads of different titles but having no customization or DLC in the games. This is reflective of the higher $69.99 price tag associated with new PlayStation 5 games. In a results briefing, Sony management confirmed the third-party game consoles had dropped in the year 2022, and data also shows a marked 38.6 million year-over-year reduction in third-party titles sold on PlayStation Store for that period. So yeah, as you can see here, guys, first party versus third party. Sorry, got my words mixed up there. You can see 2019 went up to 2000. It went up in 2020, went down in 2021, and then went down again in 2022. Like I said before, guys, if you want to read this chart quickly, just pause the video so you can have a quick look at the chart. And I'm going to continue on. Perhaps the most compelling example of this trend is the performance of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 on the PlayStation platform. Cross-referencing data from Activision's Blizzard earnings result actually supports this trend of higher prices, leading to lower unit sales. So as we can see here on this chart, PlayStation game units sells quarterly. And then in 2022, you've got Modern Warfare just sitting up here with massive sales. Pause it again, guys, if you need to look at this chart. So Activision has confirmed that Modern Warfare 2 generated $1 billion in game sales. That's absolutely insane. Revenues in just 10 days. Wow, $1 billion in 10 days. That's just nuts. In the quarter 3 of 2022, the quarter in which Modern Warfare 2 was released, sold 86.5 million titles, of which 65.7 million were third-party games. This is a year-over-year reduction of 6.2 million this is a reduction of 6.2 million total game unit sales, and a whopping year-over-year drop of 15.7 million third-party game sales. Okay. A lot of charts in this video, guys. So just like I keep saying, just pause the video as we go along if you need to read any of the charts. There's so many numbers. I can't pause and read all the numbers and all the charts. It would just take me too long. It would get too confusing as well. So easier to read it in your own time. Okay, PlayStation games sell revenue by type quarterly. Go through and read that. Pause the video if you need to, guys. Despite the drop in unit sales, software revenues were at an all-time quarterly high of 2.3 billion during the quarter 3 of 2022 period that coincided with Modern Warfare 2's launch. This further reinforces the cost versus unit sale trends. It's important to remember that Modern Warfare 2 did not offer a $59.99 last-gen SKU and was solely available as a $69.99 title. Activision offered 2 different versions of Modern Warfare 2, a cross-gen bundle that included PS4 and PS5, and a standalone PS5 version. Both of these options were priced at $69.99. As we can see here, guys, we've got a PlayStation Plus chart. You can see here the millions of subscribers that's going up. So from 2016 quarter 4, you can see this. You can see this, man. Like, it's trending upwards like crazy. So many people buying into PlayStation Plus now. Just pause it if you need to read the chart, guys. It's also worth looking at whether or not PlayStation Plus has a replicative effect on the full game sales. Sony's multi-tiered PlayStation Plus offers gamers access to a pool of games for a set monthly or yearly fee, which is less than 2 full-priced PS5 titles. It does not appear that gamers are opting to subscribe to PlayStation Plus rather than buying full-price games. Okay. PlayStation Plus subscribers rose by 1 million between quarter 3 and quarter 4 2022 to even out at 47.4 million, a little bit more than where PlayStation Plus started at the beginning of the year. These numbers often fluctuate, and Sony typically never has consistency with its subscriptions. PlayStation Plus subscriptions helped generate 3.43 billion in network services revenue during fiscal year 2022. This is a decrease from a year ago, and if there were an effect, these revenues would likely be higher than previous periods. So network service revenues yearly, we've got 2019, 2020 goes up, 2021 goes up just a little bit, and then 2022 looks like it goes down just slightly. Pause it again, guys, if you need to read the chart. So fiscal year 2022 had an average of 46.6 million subscribers compared to 47.2 million in the fiscal year of 2021. And when combined with network revenue, this rise in subscribers does not seem substantial enough to indicate a replicative effect. Based on our insights from Sony's public data, we can summarize that PlayStation owners are indeed buying less games, but are spending more money on the games that they do buy. Data suggests that the new $69.99 price tag is negatively impacting the overall number of game unit sales, while software revenues remain high. Yeah, so like I said, like I was just saying earlier, guys, like, you don't need to buy, like, people can't afford to buy loads and loads of $70 games, just handing out $70 for games. It's easier to buy a $70 game, and then, you know, every couple of months or so, you can spend little here and there on microtransactions, customize the game to the way that you want to play it. You can buy characters if you want, extra maps, extra DLC, all kinds of things. And it just customizes the experience a bit more, rather than shelling out $70 here and there for all of these games that, you know, it's just, people just can't afford sometimes. Check the thread below for more insights on this topic. So we have a tweet here from Derek Strickland. There are reports that... Oh, I'm opening up Twitter. Didn't mean to do that. There are reports that the PS5 owners are not buying games. Let's take a quick look at the numbers and see if we can figure out what might be going on. Kind of what we've just been doing with the charts up above. Okay, guys, before we end off the video, we're going to go onto Twitter and we're going to have a look at some feedback from the community and just see what people are saying about it. So, Exhausted Coffee says, I would be open to buying games on the PS5 if the PS5 had any games that I was interested in buying. I bought Resident Evil 4 Remaster, and that's literally the only PS5 game that I own. There's not much going on that console that I didn't previously get on the PS4. Edward goes on to say, I haven't bought a single PS5 exclusive game. I've got such a massive PS4 backlog, and most stuff I buy is older, deeply discounted games. My PS5 is basically just a better PS4, and will be until I put a big dent into my backlog. Yeah, he's got a lot of PS4 games to catch up on by the sound of it. Good, thanks for posting. Or, hear me out, people wait for other people to buy first and then buy them off secondhand. Yeah, that's true. A lot of people are not going to go out and spend $70 on a game. You literally wait. You wait for a game. You wait probably, 2 or 3 months, and then it'll be discounted heavily. There's a lot of games that you hear. Sometimes it will come out, and then literally within 2 weeks, there's like a massive discount on a website where you can go and buy it somewhere. So I understand why people are hesitant to buy it at full price. I mean, what's the point? Another way to look at it is that Sony realizes customers are more selective if they are buying games. Thus, Sony raises the first-party game price and increases the budget per game. By releasing existing game on PC, it costs less, plus it's an additional revenue stream for them. And then we've got one more reply here. Sales can be looked at as solely as sales can't be looked at solely as units sold anymore. Unit sales are down because people are buying less games. However, the games they do buy has $20 passes for content coming down the line. The real cost of a game is far above $100 easily. That's the thing, isn't it? I mean, it's the fear of missing out, as they call it. So you buy a game, and you spend money on a full price game, and then you feel like you're missing out if you don't buy the battle pass, if you don't buy the characters. You know, like, you can play Fortnite, but if you're not buying the characters, you feel like you're missing part of the experience. Nobody's holding a gun to your head and forcing you to buy these. I get it. But a lot of these games have manipulation built into them as well. The publishers, they know how to get people to buy stuff. So yeah, you're spending $70 on a game, and then the DLC, microtransactions, everything on top. It's just super expensive. Gaming is expensive. That's why a lot of people wait for discounts, and it's more than fair enough that they wait for the discounts. But yeah, guys, that's kind of the article talking about people buying less games, but sort of spending a little bit more on the games that they do have on the transactions. So what do you think about it? Do you own a PS5? Do you spend a lot on games? Do you not bother buying that many PS5 games? Are you a PC player instead? I mean, what do you prefer, guys? Jump down to the comment section. Let me know what you think about this article, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.